Good evening and welcome to Business 7. Public events where high-ranking officials speak are a very good opportunity for questions to be asked, and since these questions come from ordinary Namibians, the questions are insightful and the answers even more so. In tonight's program, we will be focusing on one such event. It was the public lecture given by the Bank of Namibia Governor Johannes Gawaxab at UNAM yesterday. And some of the topics that came from the audience was mindset changing, banks, as well as the currency issue. Please stay tuned. It's going to be a very interesting program.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
As I said in the intro of the program, the Governor of the Bank of Namibia, Johannes Gawaxab, yesterday delivered a public lecture at the University of Namibia. One of the questions asked by a student in the audience, was why, if Namibia has gold, why do we not peg our currency to the gold standard? The Governor of the Bon, Johannes Gawaxab, elaborated on this and also explained the situation of the Namibia dollar being pegged to the South African rand.
Namibia, why we have got gold? Why is our currency not backed by the gold? So our currency regime choice is not allowing at this stage that we have got a currency backed by the Namibia dollar, by gold. Our currency regime choice is our currency, for good or for better, for worse, it's back to the South African rand. That's a decision that we have taken when the country became independent. Do we go on our own or do we peg our country? We don't have reserves. If you don't have enough reserves, and you've got a currency without enough reserves backing it, the value of that currency is going to be very volatile. So, as management of the bank, we are debating whether we should have gold as an asset class. And for that conversations we've done studies, we've done benchmarking, and it's a very valid question, and it's something that is keeping us busy. But at this stage, there is no decision to get a currency backed by gold. We are thinking about, should we, like most of the central banks that have started now, start accumulating gold as one of the asset classes? Because remember, when you have got your reserves, you have got a couple of assets to back up, or the underlying assets for your reserves. You invest into cash, you invest into bonds locally in South Africa and US dollars, or you invest in bonds in Europe. So those are the underlying asset classes. So if you need to get the gold, we need to go through a process to add gold to the bonds, cash, locally and offshore, so that we can have, and what percentage of that would be optimal. So that's an exercise we are thinking of, but we are quite comfortable with the current arrangement. Many people don't believe that, but we are doing, every 3 months we are doing an exercise, whether the current exchange rate arrangement is beneficial to Namibia. And I can tell you, the current arrangement is working for this country.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour,
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
At yesterday's lecture by the Bonn Governor Johannes Gawaxab at UNAM, of course, as always, banks was a topic that the audience wanted to discuss. However, this time it had a very interesting spin. The audience wanted to know how much money does one need to start a bank, and when are there going to be more Namibian banks?
Very few simple questions, because these are questions that we deal with, basic ones. Our students would want to know, how much money do I need to open my own bank? You need to answer us that. How much money do I need, or my group of friends, to open our own bank? And I'm going to go back to your regulated populace that you've mentioned in your presentation. And my frustration in this country is always the overregulation. Yes, we have the grand policies. We have the shining examples. We're even ranked number 9. Good. But when you want to open a business in this country, it's a daunting task. Don't even try to open a bank. Especially when, notwithstanding the failures of the SME bank, savings and investment bank, those are banks that should come from individuals that help our poor people. And if the regulated populace is only your 4 well-known banks in this country, does the central bank condone this monopoly? When do our own people own banks? We don't want to condemn the current players in the industry that provide us a very robust and seamless financial system. FNB, Standard Bank, we don't have this kind of services in the rest of Africa. Ours, you secure, your finance is secure, your deposit is secure, but notwithstanding that, we also want to own these banks. Please.
How much money do you need to start a bank? Anyone that wants to start a bank, just go to the website of Bank of Namibia. What are the requirements to start a bank? And download everything. And the capital you require is basically dependent on your business plan. How much money do you want to lend? What do you want to do? That's basically. But if you really want to simplify it, you can start a bank in Namibia of 10 million. But starting a bank is not easy. That's from a capital point of view. You need to have risk management. You need to have people that the bank will approve. They have got the experience. You need more than the capital that you require. But anyone who wants to start a bank, there is nobody that stops Namibians from starting a bank. Just go to the website of Bank of Namibia and look at the requirements. If you believe you meet those requirements, please apply. So there is nothing that stops anyone in this country from starting a bank. Volatility of SACU revenues. That's a very good question, because you cannot plan. And if you understand what is Southern African Customs Union, it's a customs union. And the pool of revenues the union receives is based on the growth on imports and exports there, right? So you cannot say in advance how the economy is going to grow. So that's why it's normally paid with a lag. So it's not something that is, if you talk to me about SACU, I'll more talk about the revenue sharing formula. But at this stage, you've got a valid point that it's quite volatile, because we don't know how the pool will grow. And the growth of that pool is dependent on trade, it's dependent on import, exports, all those things.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
The Bank of Namibia is on a major innovation and technology drive. That was also the topic of Bond Governor Johannes Gawaxab's public lecture yesterday at UNAM. However, when it was time for questions, one of the members of the audience wanted to know that how does one change staff or employees, or for that matter, a whole country's mindset when it comes to big change?
I was very pleased by your thinking and your vision in terms of turning processes around within the bank. I could go to quite a number of the aspects you mentioned, but I want to pick only one. And the reason why I'm picking this particular aspect is I would like to understand how long did it take the bank to change mindset of people to go along with automation of processes? Did you need to pilot it, or could you just wake up one day and say, as of from tomorrow, no more paper in the bank? The other point I want to raise coupled to that, so I want to understand whether there was a pilot and how soon was it sort of like enforced into all the tranches of the bank for people to absorb and understand a digital transformation process. The second part to it is your vision of everybody needing to go this route in the country, and the central bank being the bank of government. Unfortunately, it's not yet fully felt and absorbed at everybody's level. We know of countries like Kenya where M-Pesa and things like that came many, many moons ago. It is indeed fantastic to learn where we are ranked from an AI perspective or even in a banking industry. But we need to see it filtered through. And your vision is there. It looks to me that our central bank could be the anchor of innovation, automation, and the digital sphere. But all of us as citizens here today must feel it and must become a part of it. I would like to know how you would turn that around so that all the other banks in the country will take us along no matter where we bank.
Any transformation, whether it's digital or whatever, it's a journey normally, right? So it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You do it today and it's going to happen. So I joined the bank only in June 2024. And then we had a strategy that was running. So I said, let's leave the strategy where it is. And at the end of that year, June 2020, the strategy, the 5-year strategy we had was expiring. So we said as a collective leadership team, now we need to craft a new strategy for the bank. And we craft our own strategy, so we didn't use outside people. So if you need to do strategy, you need to take ownership. So we have got a very, very strong leadership team in the bank. And we craft that strategy. And one of the enablers was to execute that strategy, digital transformation is needed. So we start making it as part of our strategy. So he said, right, so digital transformation is part of our strategy. Now, how do we need to change the mindset? So we said, we also need to change the culture, because without a culture change, because we had a culture that was supporting the previous strategy, without a digital transformation. Now we've got a new strategy that calls for digital transformation. So we needed a new culture statement. And the culture statement had basically 3 big values that we are pushing. The first one was agility, collaboration, and trust. There was all, if you need to change the mindset, if my colleagues don't do that, I'd say, but we said we're going to be agile. What is this manual stuff that you guys are doing? We said we're going to collaborate because we had silos. Every department was a fiefdom on its own. But we said we're going to collaborate and break these silos. So we're going to change this culture now. We're not changing the mindset. And we said we're going to trust each other in executing the strategy. So why are you second guessing me now? So that's what we have done as leadership, a new strategy, a new culture statement, and this is a journey. So you need to remember there will be always people that will be behind. So just go with the people you believe in. You know, I've learned so much when leading institutions. You are familiar with the acceptance curve, right? If you start anything, there will be people that are always accept that. You need to explain why you are doing this, but there are people that are going to push back because they don't like this change, because they don't know what the outcome is. Then you go, there's a normal distribution, and then you have got a big group of people that joins you. So now you are there almost, and at the end, you have got a thing that's humming, but there'll still be people that don't like that because you're upsetting that one. So that's the way we have done it. How do we need to get the country and all the other departments to play along? It needs a few individuals in strategic places to take this thing and run with. At the later stage, the others will come and join. So let's just go with what we have.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhom.com.na.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Part of the Bank of Namibia's huge drive regarding innovation and technology is the instant payment solution. They played a video of this project at the public lecture held at UNAM yesterday. We're playing out with this video. We want to wish you a happy week, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Until then, goodbye.
In Namibia, the spirit of resilience and community thrives, but many of our citizens in rural and informal sectors and areas face significant barriers to financial services, relying heavily on cash with limited access to banking. Every transaction means hours of travel when you live in remote areas.
Without easy access to the bank, every day I'm taking risk to keep cash in my pocket.
We've heard you. The Instant Payment Project is our commitment to turning these challenges into opportunities.
While Namibia has done well with broad financial inclusion at 78%, people in rural and informal Namibia are still struggling to access basic, affordable, and essential financial services. This means that our informal actors, taxi drivers, community sellers, petrol attendants, farm workers, and other small and medium-sized businesses must go to great lengths, travel long distances, incur high transport costs, and pay more to access financial services. This demoralizes these groups from interacting with the formal financial system and ultimately hampers economic growth. The Bank of Namibia is therefore stepping up with a new plan to introduce an instant payment solution to be specifically designed to address these challenges and more.
As a project team on the ground, we are excited to be co-creating the instant payment solution together with industry.
This new system will allow instant transactions across all of Namibia, affordable, fast and secure, reducing the need for travel and high fees. Imagine buying supplies or receiving payments on your phone, withdrawing cash from any ATM, anytime without the wait.
An instant payment system like this is a game changer.
With the launch of the instant payment solution, we lay the foundation for a more inclusive economy. The solution will also empower fintechs, startups, and innovators to reimagine possibilities within our market and our financial system.
As an industry representative, we heed the call of the Bank of Namibia to ensure that the instant payment project is successful.
Together we are launching a new way of payment, serving every Namibian using any mobile phone, whether offline or online, and whether you are in a city or in rural Namibia. It is money everywhere, anywhere, every day, and anytime.
The instant payment solution is a beacon of financial empowerment, bridging the divide of those in rural areas and the informal economy, ushering in a transformative era of inclusive prosperity through affordable and sustainable digital payments.
Imagine a Namibia where the heartbeat of progress is in the palm of your hand. The Instant Payment Project is the future we are building. Together we are weaving a fabric of financial inclusivity that covers every corner of our nation. It's a revolution, a revolutionary way in how we transact, connect, and thrive.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.